Alright, so we making an LTW lip now. Getting this LTW lip mold all prepped up. So this is the mold we made the other day. I'm just taking some 220 grit on my DA sander and just getting off all these like high spots and any like sharp edges that would puncture the bag once we do that to it. And just make this overall a nice smooth mold. So once I get all of that taken care of, we can start applying our layers of wax. You know the drill: wax, PVA. Let that dry. Lay the stack: carbon, peel ply, breather cloth, bag, epoxy. Let's get it. I prepped for my seat back. I'm gonna cut the one and prep it for this lip. I got both of them waxed. This one is done. It's ready for PVA. This one just needs to get buffed off and one more coat of wax. Then we can start putting PVA on everything. I'm doing like 3 things at once. This is starting to get kind of fun. So let's get it. I'm gonna wrap up this bag, get it out of my way, and start making the lip bag. I'm using this tape. It's butyl roofing tape. You can get this from Home Depot. It's like half the price of the stuff you can get from the actual place, and it works just as good. I've never had a problem. I've been using it for years. And this is my Amazon V4 vacuum pump. If you guys are interested, I can make a detailed video on this setup. But yeah, get this out of my way, cut this other bag. The bag for the lip is gonna be 5.5 feet by 6.5 feet long. Boop, boop, boop. Same thing with the tape, pop, pop, pop. And we get this done. I got my first layer of PVA on the lip mold and the seat back mold. So now we're gonna wait for this to dry. I've got the one bag prepped. I'm gonna work on prepping this one now while this PVA dries for a bit. The lip bag all prepped up and ready to go. So now we can just work on drying the PVA, and then we can start cutting carbon, peel ply, and breather cloth. So it's around 8:45 Saturday night. I think this is where we're gonna call it. I got both of these molds prepped with mold release, and I got their vacuum bags made. So tomorrow all I need to do is cut carbon, cut peel ply, and cut breather cloth, put it in the mold, mix up epoxy, apply that, and we'll be ready to pull vacuum on these two. So I got this one done. It's all sealed up, but I can hear a few pinholes. And rather than dealing with that, I usually just kind of let the pump run overnight, and I haven't had any problems with it. So I just usually leave it on a surge protector, and that kind of helps. But yeah, this is where we're gonna leave off for tonight. JP out. All right, so it is finally time to start making one of these LTW lips. So what I'm gonna do first is make a template of this so I can accurately cut out a piece of carbon. So usually what I would do is I'd cut a strip and then struggle to like bend it and have it take the shape. So I've got a roll of this. It's kind of like saran wrap, but it's a little bit thicker. It's what I have, so it's what we're gonna use. I know I opened that completely incorrectly. It's okay. But yeah, so essentially I'm just gonna take this, place it in here, trace it out with a marker. It's translucent, and then cut it out, and then we'll lay it on the carbon, and then just cut it out with the curve and everything so we can lay it in there nicely. And I think that should give us a better result rather than just stuffing it in like I usually do. Pause. But yeah, yeah, kind of leveling up in the world. I just got me one of these bandsaws, and I can cut things. I got it in my vise. I'll probably get one of those stand table things for it. But this is kind of cool for cutting little things and whatnot. Gotta tighten that. Facebook Marketplace deals. Also got me a drill press and stuff. So I don't think I posted that short hair of making the motor mounts, but I used these type of tools at my boy Spencer's shop, and I had to get my own. But yeah, let's make this lip. My plastic in here. Now I'm gonna take my marker and kind of like trace along this edge, pop it out, and maybe I'll lay it out on some cardboard and cut it out and have like a nice template. We'll see how it comes out. All right, so got the plastic in here, traced it out with my marker. I'm gonna lay out some of this cardboard and then take this out and place it on top of there so we can cut it out. So it's gonna be weird getting this angle, but we'll see how it looks once I take it out. template made. It's all cut in cardboard now. Made an absolute mess. So now I can take this, trace it out on a piece of carbon, test it out, and we can go from there. So I got my carbon rolled out. I have my template on top of here. So now what we gotta do is cut 3 pieces of this and we should be good to go. Hey, all my pieces of carbon have been cut. They're actually over there on that piece of cardboard. Just chilling, rolled up, waiting. So now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna lay it in here and see how well it fits. Kind of messed up my mold at least a little bit when I was making my template, but it's nothing crazy. Can work with that. But yeah, so we're gonna lay the carbon in here and like kind of form it to shape. Then we'll fold half of it back and use some of this spray adhesive to get the first layer to stick down and contour nicely to the shape. And, you know, prevent bridging or anything so we don't have like air gaps between the mold and the carbon. Yeah, so let's get it. I might just set up the camera and just show you me doing my thing. I need to get a tripod. That's next on the list. Let's get it. Layer 1 is in and it fits really nice. The template was a good move. So I'm going to put number 2, the next one that we cut with the template. And the rest will just, layer 3 will just be the rest of the offcuts. But yeah, we're looking good so far. That little roller thing puts in really good work. I take this and I do the edges and I get it to sit nice and tight up against the molds. And then once we do the vacuum, warm it up and do the same thing with the bag and it gets everything real nice. Some loosey-goosey gloves. Okay, so I got my peel ply on. Next step is to put some of this breather cloth on, throw it in the vacuum bag, pull vacuum, and get out of here. All right, breather cloth is on. This is ready. Got my vacuum bag here, so we're gonna put this on top of here. Fold the flap over, pull the tape off of the tape, stick it down, hook up our pump, and it's good to go. So let's see how long this takes. It is now 1:55. Let's see. All right, it's 2:02. Got the part in the bag. Now we can turn on my vacuum pump and start pulling some vacuum. Older live right here. She needs some love. All right, so this is where we're gonna leave it for today. Almost a full vacuum. I usually just leave the pump running. So we'll be back tomorrow early in the morning and we'll see what we got. Hell yeah. We're back in here for another day. I gotta say, this vacuum pump from Vibor, absolute trooper. I leave this thing running overnight multiple times. I've had this thing for a couple of years now. Really good pump. And it's the cheapest one you can buy. It was like probably $50 or $60. A couple fittings from eBay and a gauge. Thing works great. So this thing feels pretty solid. So I can finally let you rest. I ran this thing out of oil. It just leaks and it just pulls vacuum. Solid unit. All right, so it's time to start removing this from the bag and popping out the mold, see what we got. I hope this epoxy's cured because it hasn't really been 24 hours. It has been a while. Oh yeah. I mean, it's still a little soft, but we'll see. Alright, so it's like 12 o'clock at night. We outside here. I had to let the lip cure a little bit today, and I was working on a couple other projects. It's definitely still a little soft, but I had it inside in the heat curing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to pry it out of this mold. I don't really want to put it on that table. It's brand new, I don't want to scratch it up. I also don't want to make a bunch of noise, so I'm just gonna do this here. I'm gonna put the camera somewhere so you can see me struggle. Out the mold, here's what we're looking like. Gonna trim it with some scissors, wash off the PVA, and we'll see how it's looking. So here's how the lip's looking in the daytime. There's still PVA on it, that's why it's looking all purple and kinda, I don't know how you would describe that. But once I wash it off, it'll look a lot better. I'm gonna trim it first with my angle grinder, then just wash it one time and let it dry. Alright, so I got it all trimmed up. Now I just need to hit it with a sander a little bit, get the edges all nice, and then we can wash this off. So we just got it all wet sanded. It's in the sun drying right now. Now you can pick it up, go ahead.
I was gonna put it in front of your car.
Yeah, we're gonna mock it up. Well, we also got some clear coat. We'll throw some clear coat at it and see how it comes out. This fell.
We're charging, you know why? Because we gotta pay the fleet. You spent.
So I got my lip bolted onto my bumper upside down. So I can throw this on the car and see what it looks like. Also threw these wheels on. Traded them for my bucket seats, or traded my bucket seats for these. Full set of wheels, brand new tires, for free. Here by Works Fab. We're about to get some logs done and send them over to Mr. Lyon so we can get some, well, get this car running way better. But this is how we're looking. Check out the carbon lip. Oh yeah, there's the fog.